Lee. Twigs and fountains, muddy bricks, cadavers of concrete, half-made homes, sun-baked twists of metal wood. There are skeletons in the desert here. Many-armed pylons stand aloof, painted breeze blocks skinny trees. Alien monsters bring us life, marching across rock-scattered rows. Purple mountains, nature sprouts. Moroccan blue, the towering sky. Culture's castles, tradition's prints. There are skeletons in the desert here. Wizard's fingers, sun-drenched trees. Aren't you afraid they'll steal your eyes? Built by tiny, big machines, a wending tarmac river flows. Piles of boulders, plastic cones, ancient sunshine, furrowed sand. Eternal heat, passing buildings. There are skeletons in the desert here. Broken cars, missing wheels, nature's shoulder, flowing ground. Bushes crawl in static crowds, we specks move through as time's line grows. A staring eye, the sun, a Horus-like, a slicing gaze. An ocean's sand, a rock is bleached, and there are skeletons in the desert here. A screaming skull and scarified, the cliffs diluted fall apart. Drink deeply from an endless sky. Reduced, we pierce the canopy. Thanks. Got a couple more if there's time. But this one, someone said last night I was at this thing in Woking, and there was a great poem, and they said this is the closest I've ever come to horror, and it was something like being in Little or something like that. But this is the closest I've ever come to horror. It's about insomnia, and it's called The Dead of Night. And the dead of night is not just the time and the place, but also the ghosts that emerge when you're in that space. The dead of night, it's time to know the dead of night, when wide awake and staring into closed eyelids and entire life. My mind won't seem to cut a break, the wish to dream yet still awake, and visions are coming anyway. The dead of night, the dead of night. The child within its threefold sin, ignore the positives all around. Tick, 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 hyperactive sounds, no satisfaction ever found, and inner peace is salted ground. The dead of night, lie awake and hear the nighttime sliding by the witching hour. The dead of night, the dead of night. Which things you did were not to be, which loves were burnt for all to see, which dreams were melted in the sun, which hyperactive spiders spun, which memories are hollow husks, which are on high on judgment's tusks, which beastly beast never forgets, which feet fell wrong on labour's sweats, which memories of bygone places make mere meek meetings into races, up against your inner graces of all your lives and your disgraces. Witching hour, the dead of night, all rise again, exhumed to right the wrongs from all that time ago. The dead of night, the dead of night, the ghosts that shine within a glow, and phantoms living on in me. The bursts my many mind's eyes see, the spirits insisting they are free. The unrepentant cycle of eternal return, the roots of love, the roots of action, roots of style, the roots of every living mile. The spirits that your thoughts defile and cackle with a twisted smile. The dead of night, whose spirits nurture inner sight. Philosophers in gold and white, tell me what was wrong or right. The bronze and grey will fall away, twisted myths my memories say. It's only truth that comes my way, perceptually in the dead of night. The legs that share the bed with you, they get in on the action too. With energy, they ache. Who knew that they would be your enemies? Who? Flex your muscles, flex them tight, all in the wasted hope it might reduce the tenseness, less the plight. The dead of night, the dead of night. Tomorrow you'll be feeling rough from lack of sleep, it will be tough. But now at least you're dozing off, a couple of hours will be enough. Until your brain remembers you did something back when you were two, to ponder till your night is through, until you're crying, until you weep. At all the cloying thoughts that creep across your brain, their claws dig deep and trample on your gentle sleep. The dead of night, insomnia, the dead of night, damn you witching hour, and to the dead of night, the same to you. Thanks.